Four candidates who agree on almost everything hit the debate stage and brought plenty of political fireworks.
So this idea that I'm saying things that can't be done is exactly the sort of loser mentality why Republicans often don't win.
If it was something that could be done, I would ask the question, it begs the question, then why hasn't Paxton already done it?
We look at who came out swinging and how it could affect the outcome in the race to replace Ken Paxton. Texas leaders warning families about a growing danger in home childcare. Fixing the problem comes with challenges.
I think lots of people don't know that they should be listed or are regulated, so they don't necessarily know that they're breaking the law.
Our investigation looks at the risks and the push for policy changes to protect children.
Produced from the Capitol in Austin and airing statewide, this is the award-winning State of Texas.
Hello and thank you for joining us. I'm Josh Hinkle. On the first day of early voting, the top four Republican candidates for Texas Attorney General took the stage together for a debate in Dallas. The winner of the Republican primary will be the favorite to replace current Attorney General Ken Paxton, who's currently running for U.S. Senate. State Capitol correspondent Adam Schwager breaks down how the debate played out.
In front of a packed house here in Dallas, including current Attorney General Ken Paxton, the four frontrunners to replace Paxton on the Republican side fielded questions on everything from Sharia law to gambling to crime. But throughout their answers, it proved that a lot of their differences are on style, not on substance. U.S. Representative Chip Roy entered as the frontrunner, according to a recent University of Houston poll. Paxton endorsed attorney Aaron Reitz took an early shot at Roy, accusing him of being fired from Paxton's office.
He was so ineffective, so bad at serving as Paxton's deputy, that Paxton fired him.
Roy denied that claim and responded by touting his endorsement from Senator Ted Cruz. Both he and Reitz previously served as the senator's chief of staff.
He has put his full confidence in me to serve as the Attorney General of Texas.
The candidates also talked about fighting Democratic prosecutors within Texas, who they say are leading to a rise in crime.
Our laws, our Constitution, those are not suggestions. And anytime a district attorney is treating it that way, they have violated their oath of office because they were supposed to put their hand on the Bible to protect and defend all of our laws, all of the Constitution. And when they're choosing not to do that, they're choosing to violate their oath, and they should be removed from office. It is that simple.
We should make sure that DAs and judges are held to account. I think the legislature ought to give greater authority to the governor, like Governor DeSantis out in Florida, to remove recalcitrant DAs and to have greater flexibility to do that. And we ought to be able to do that to judges.
As Attorney General, I have committed from day one that within the first month of taking office, I will seek the removal of the Dallas County District Attorney, Travis County District Attorney, and Harris County District Attorney.
As far as the rogue prosecutors go, I wrote that bill. That was the bill I wrote. And it cannot be done on day one, like some claim they're going to do, or in the first month. It is a process. It's a constitutional and statutory process.
That comment led to conflict between Huffman and Reitz.
So this idea that I'm saying things that can't be done is exactly the sort of loser mentality why Republicans often don't win.
If it was something that could be done, I would ask the question, it begs the question, then why hasn't Paxton already done it?
Once again, these candidates did not differ much at all on any of these policies they were asked about, but they did take that time to attack each other, especially as the debate wrapped up here in the closing arguments. If no candidate in this race gets over 50% of the vote, the top two vote getters will head to a runoff in May. In Dallas, I'm Adam Schwager.
The Democratic primary for Attorney General could also go to a runoff. Polling shows a tight race between Dallas State Senator Nathan Johnson, former Galveston Mayor Joe Jaworski, and former FBI agent Tony Box. The poll from the Hobby School of Public Affairs at the University of Houston shows 40% of voters are still undecided. One important choice on the ballot involves the Lieutenant Governor of Texas. That position presides over the entire Senate, makes committee assignments, and can cast tie-breaking votes. A Democrat has not served in that position since 1999. Our Capitol Bureau team spoke to the candidates in the Democratic primary, trying to change that.
Marcos Velez and Vicky Goodwin are the frontrunners in the Democratic primary for lieutenant governor. Velez is a blue-collar Texan and works for the United Steelworkers International Union.
It's turned into a career pursuing my passion of fighting for working people.
He says he wants to continue fighting for working people in Austin.
Higher wages, lower cost health care, lower cost for Texans. Those are things that you will not see a change in that message.
His opponent, Vicky Goodwin, is campaigning on more money for public education and making life more affordable for Texans.
There's a lot of work to do around public education, but funding it better is the start.
She's in her 4th term in the State House of Representatives, and she feels her experience makes her better suited for the job.
The lieutenant governor heads the Senate and has immense power in the legislature. Knowing how bills get passed, how the Senate works, how the House works is really important.
Courtney Head is the 3rd candidate in the primary. She's head of legal operations at a software company and wants to bring her executive leadership experience to the Texas Senate.
I was like, this applies directly to what the lieutenant governor does, and why not advocate for real change and systemic change by an average person.
Whoever wins the primary will most likely face off against incumbent Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. He's had the job for over a decade. A recent University of Houston poll shows 41% approve the job he's doing, 43% don't. He has more name recognition than both Democratic frontrunners, something the Democrats are trying to change.
We're going to travel through every single county in Texas, and we're going to make direct contact talking to working class people and people in the middle class.
A lot of travel, visiting with a lot of people throughout the state.
A lot of social media, a lot of word of mouth from people in the music industry and various other industries of entertainment.
Dylan McKim, State of Texas.
Online now, you can see our full interviews with Vicky Goodwin, Marcos Velez, and Courtney Head, but that's not all. We spoke to candidates in several key races on your ballot. That includes the race for U.S. Senate, Governor, and Attorney General. Look for the links in this week's State of Texas story on our website. He's the Democrat who pulled off a stunning win in a red district. Now he's officially a Texas state senator. But will he ever get a chance to make a vote? Hundreds of childcare providers operating without a license, potentially putting kids at risk. What our investigation discovered about home childcare here in Texas and the political fight to fix it. A $100 million research boost is now law, and it could change how we detect and treat Alzheimer's. How the money could unlock life-changing science for Texans.